Hello, I'm just making a quick little video to explain these housings a little bit. So these are two different kinds of resin that you can get on Shapeways, on the Dowstick 64 Shapeways, and I just want to compare and contrast the two. I would say this one is a little bit more, it's a little bit more sturdy. Although both of them are brittle, these arms can break off when you put the encoders in. But once you get the encoders in, you're going to be fine. So the most dangerous part when you're handling these is if you have this out of your controller and when you're putting your encoders on. So obviously you don't want to drop this. That can make it break off, but when you're putting your encoders on, that little bit of flex that you have to do on these arms can break those off. So just be very conscious of the amount of force. You just want to give the absolute minimum amount of force. These tan ones are smoother. They have more. They have a better surface finish than the clear ones do. But the clear ones are a little bit more strong. They both function great. Once they're installed, you probably won't notice, but this is a really interesting resin to try to use because it's so smooth. This almost kind of looks like a kitch bent housing. It's a little bit more tan than the kitch bent housings, but so I'm just going to show you how to put an encoder in. You probably know how to do that already. But for those of you that don't know, if you're doing this on an OEM housing, it's very simple and very easy. But what I'm doing is I'm just giving the absolute minimum amount of flex. So I've got the encoder. The encoder is in this thicker side is in this slot, and it's all ready to go into that circular hole there. This little axle is ready to go into that. So you just want to very gently, see how it lifts a little bit onto that, and just very, very gently go just barely over the hump and just get it on. There you go, just like that. And it should smoothly and freely turn. And if it doesn't, for whatever reason, take a 1.6 millimeter drill bit and just clean that hole out. Most likely you won't have any problems. I've modeled the file so that you shouldn't need to do any drilling of that hole. I'm going to do it with this tan one here, and getting the encoder on is easier than taking them off. So I would just recommend having a dedicated set of encoders for your resin housing. It takes a little more flex to get the encoder off than it does to get it on. So you want to give it the absolute minimum amount of flex. Just slide it through using this side slot, that slot there as a guide. There. So just get it up on there, and then just barely get it over the hump. There, like that, and it turns freely like it should. So these resin housings are great. I think they're perfectly fine. They're an inexpensive option that doesn't involve a lot of labor from anyone drilling out housings. So yeah, both of these are great. This one is smoother. There's more danger of breaking off the arms when you're putting the encoders on, but if you can put the encoder on, I think this one's better. So, okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.